I'm 814 Projects, and this is the DIY Occidental Leather tool belt setup. I was inspired to do this video by the Nomadic Ink channel, a guy by the name of James Showers, the cleanest name in the business, who is a drywall installer in Idaho. I see that he always posts videos of his Occidental Leather tool belt setup, and since I just got my first set, I figured that I would this tool belt setup is a custom setup. I didn't buy this as a complete like framing rig. I bought the bags in the belt separately, and I have non-Occidental Nicholas vintage brand suspenders. So let's start out on the left side, which is the fastener side since I'm right-handed. This is the B8064, and it reminds me of just a smaller, lighter fat lip fastener bag. It just has more nylon, less leather, and it's a little bit smaller by a few inches in each pouch. So for the outer two pouches, this is a split outer pouch. You can carry two types of fasteners. Like for me, on one side, I have my longer GRK screws for framing purposes. And then on the other side, I have the shorter GRK screws for like hanging sheathing or putting down sheathing. So next is the speed square holder here. It's a riveted in like space. It's not even a pouch itself. It's just a space that you can put your standard 7-inch speed square in, which I have a Swanson speed square there. And then moving up here, we got the chalk line pouch, which from the reviews I read, everybody says that when you have something in the chalk line pouch, it completely denies you access to the larger pouch, which is right in front of the speed square slot there. So I am right now not keeping anything in the chalk line pouch. Moving on to the front side of the B8064 here, we got a couple slots here in small pouches for pencils. I have a Milwaukee ink saw marker in there, carpenter pencil, and then there's a wider slot that sits behind it that I have 3 nail sets in. And around the back, there's 2 leather open pouches, and one of those is for a cat's paw nail puller. And if you've ever done remodeling, you know that you definitely need a cat's paw nail puller because a large portion of your work is going to be removing old fasteners and old material. I know like a lot of framers say that they don't even carry a cat's paw nail puller because if you need one, then you're not placing your nails very well. And that may be true, but in DIY and remodeling, you're going to need a cat's paw nail puller or some type of nail puller or pry bar. And then this other slot here that's open right now is specifically, I believe, for a combination square, which I usually don't ever carry a combination square whenever I'm doing DIY work. Yeah, I have one. I have an Empire, and if I need it, I grab it, but it's something that is not very often carried with me. All right, next I want to talk about the tool bag, which is the bag on the right side if you're right-handed. This is where you keep the tools in. The left side's the fastener bag, the right side's the tool carrying bag. So I went with an Occidental Leather B8018DB. And to me, it looks like a smaller, less bulky version of the fat lip tool bag. I figured since I'm just in DIY, I don't need a big bulky tool bag like something like the fat lip or one of the all leather bags. So we'll see how well this holds up. Okay, on the top it has a tape measure pouch right there. I like to keep my tape measure on my left side, so I haven't used this yet. Maybe eventually I'll start using it and see how it goes. Inside the large pouch here, there are a handful of slots for various tools. I added this. This is the Occidental Leather Toll Shield, which is, I think the number is 2003. Right now I have a Buck Bros 1-inch chisel in there, and then just a regular pencil for any type of finish work that I got to do that I need to make a mark that needs to be finer than what a carpenter pencil can offer. I have a Stanley utility knife in there. It's not a quick blade change. It actually has the screw where you got to take the knife apart and change the blade. Then I have a set of red-handled needle nose pliers, and these are Proto brand, made in the USA. I remember my dad had an old set of these red-handled Proto needle nose pliers. They were like one of the best sets of needle nose pliers that I ever used. They were so smooth. They never hung up or stuck. They had good grip on the teeth. And I figured, if I can find those, I'm going to buy them. So I did. Moving on here, I got a set of channel lock end nippers. And these are great if you're doing remodeling DIY for nail pulling purposes. I mean, it's like one of the best things you can use to pull nails. They have two smaller slots here for pencils, marker. I think there's like a deeper slot for your longer carpenter pencil and then a shorter slot for your shorter carpenter pencil. But I have a carpenter pencil, a Stanley brand in one, and then I have a lumber crayon, which is also known as a keel, in the other slot. I have a Empire brand torpedo level. And then there are two smaller front pouches. And right now I have this one empty. I figure I'm going to keep that empty, and that will be space for fasteners that are removed during a remodeling process. And then in the other bag, which is the more rear sitting bag, I have a Kessin brand chalk line. And Kessin right now is the only chalk line brand that makes their chalk line and chalk boxes in the USA. So check those out. If you're looking for a chalk line made in the USA, go with Kessin. And then I also have this special marking tool called a Duramark Chalk Shot. And this is like pressurized, like bright green chalk that you can mark through holes with. I think it marks holes up to like 2 inches deep. So this is really nice for like if you need to hang shelves or brackets or anything, and trying to get a pencil in those little holes can be a real pickle. So something like this would be great. I am going to do an actual review on this product down the road. I just haven't got to it yet. So, all right. Just a few more things before I end this video. The belt that I decided to go with was the Occidental Leather 8003 Nylon Belt. And I also wanted to add that I saw the Perkins Builder Brothers use these magnetic bit holders. They're made by a company called FastCap, and they're called Pro Hold, and you can fit a ton of bits on here, and they use rare earth neodymium magnets. They're pretty awesome. Check those out. They went up in price though on Amazon. It's like almost $22 for one of these now. And then I also wanted to mention that the brand of cat's paw nail puller that I use is a Stanley Fat Max, and it's a 10-inch. It's completely sufficient for remodeling and DIY purposes. And I also have a few recommendations for tool belts if you want to get one that's made in the USA and you don't have the money to spend on brands like Occidental Leather, Atlas 46, and Diamondback. One company's in Riverside, California, and it's called R&J Leathercraft. The only drawback is if you're not near the store location, you have to pay quite a bit for shipping. And then there's another company called Boulder Bag, and they make pretty good looking nylon tool bags that are very affordable. About half the price is Occidental. So please like my video and subscribe.